of things. But for you today, I am a clinical psychologist and I'm going to hone in on my school psychology skills as well. They kind of go hand in hand, although they're two completely different disciplines. When we talk about clinical psychology, we are speaking more so from the mindset of mental health. And so that's what we're going to look at more succinctly today, mental health, but mental health as it pertains to suicide. We know that suicide is not anything that is new, but we do know that we are seeing in the media more and more young people just coming to light who are committing suicide. But this thing has been going on for a while. It's nothing new. And it has plagued the black community for quite a while. It's nothing new. One thing that we have been seeing as mental health clinicians is an increase since COVID. So we do know and we do see that there is definitely a rise in cases, particularly as it relates to people who look like me because of mental health factors that are already present that go unseen, undiagnosed, unknown, not talked about. There is a stigma when it comes to talking about mental health. You know, we were taught certain things in the home. Don't talk about this, don't talk about that. Everything was a secret, and those secrets are the things that got a lot of people in trouble. And those secrets are the things that have kept a lot of people bound, even today. So it's time to get unbound. It's time to break free. It's time to unlock the chains on our minds. So, since suicide is such a heavy, heavy topic, we're going to do it in two parts, okay? We're going to do just a little bit today, just enough to begin the conversation, to open the door, to let you know that, hey, it is okay to talk about it. It's okay to talk about suicide. Let me tell you what's important. Some people think that, well, if I talk about suicide, it's going to put it on the mind of the person and they may commit suicide. That is a myth, all right? Because if someone is suicidal or feeling suicidal or having suicidal tendencies or thoughts, guess what? They're going to have them anyway. Sometimes talking about it with them is a way to open the door to help them to decrease any fear or trepidation that they may be having. So it actually could be something that is helpful. Suicide is a permanent step to temporary problems. Why do I say that? Because we all go through problems. We all have issues. Every last one of us are met with some level of uncomfortability in our lives. We are, it happens, all right? Sometimes we feel like it's a struggle. We can't get out of it. It's not worth it. It's going to require too much work. Sometimes we don't like to do the work, all right? It's time for us to do the work as it pertains to our mental health and our sanity. Other people until you're able to help yourself. And sometimes that is taking care of our mental health. All right. Now, another myth. Some people think that, oh, well, she said or he said they attempted suicide, but they're still here, right? They're just crying out for help. That is another myth. Sometimes people attempt and they're unsuccessful. They don't, I shouldn't say unsuccessful. We have begun to change the language that we use. They don't complete it. They don't complete the act. That's a good thing, right? That's a really good thing. Because guess what? You got another day to try to figure it out. But if you off yourself and you just close the door on that, that's it. That is the finality. You're not coming back. You're not coming back. If you commit suicide, that is it. You have put a permanent stamp on problems that can be resolved. Now, they may not be resolved the way you want them to be resolved, but oftentimes problems are resolvable. All right. So if you're feeling a particular kind of way, you're feeling irritated, you don't know where your next meal is coming from, you don't know how you're gonna pay your bills, you don't know how you're gonna get your children to and from school. Whatever the situations are, there are ways to mitigate and to change outcomes. All right. Now, if you are a person who struggles because you have no motivation, surround yourself with people who motivate you. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who make your spirits feel better about yourself. Sometimes there are triggers in the body. We have all kinds of hormones in the endocrine system. The endocrine system is really behaviors and how they affect our hormones, you guys, all right? So within that system, there's different things. You guys have heard of norepinephrine, dopamine, epinephrine. There's a lot of different things we have. Potassium, K plus, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go on and on and on, but I don't want to do that because I go into my scientific mode, and that's not. I need to keep it simple. You know what they say? Keep it simple, stupid. I need to keep it simple, and I'm the stupid, right? But the thing is this: there are things and triggers within us that can make us have irrational thoughts, or thoughts that it's better off this way. My family is better off without me. No, they're not. No, they're not. We're taught in training that suicide is the most selfish thing that a person can do. Why do they say that? Because there are times if you're beefing with someone, let's just say it's a child of yours, and then they go and they kill themselves. Sometimes in their mind, they're thinking, this is going to hurt my mother. This is going to hurt my father. This is going to hurt the grandparents, the sibling, the wife, the husband, whomever it is, right? But in reality, it hurts. But for a little while, the pain, the emptiness is always there. But guess what? This too, that pain, that hurt shall pass. Whatever you're going through that's making you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, it too shall pass. It will pass. Give things time to pass. Look at it from a different angle. Reach out. There is a national prevention hotline, or what we call it now is the suicide lifeline. And I want to give you guys that number. It is 1-800-273-TALK or 1-800-273-8255. You are not alone. Connect with experts. Connect with people who either have been there, they've had these same experiences, or they're going through the same things. Talk about it. All right? There is a new app that is developing. It is a mental health app that I am proud to be part of the development process for. Shout out to Ms. Bershawn Shaw. And it is called I Am a Warrior. And it is an app that is going to open the door for you to be able to connect with other people that are having similar issues to what you're having, so that you understand you are not alone. And when you serve the Most High, you're never alone. There are times where you feel lonely, but you're never alone. So then you got to draw on your strength, the faith, the things that you know, the things that have always gotten you through, the things that have kept our ancestors. The reason we're here is because of that fight they had, that faith to get them through. Can you imagine if they had all killed themselves, coming over on those slave ships packed on top of each other, like sardines on top of sardines? The feces, the urine that they had to lay in for months to get across that passage. Can you imagine? Now, some of them did jump overboard. Not going to sit here and play no games with it. That did happen. But most of them did not, because they began to understand that they had faith in God and faith in the Most High. There is no other God. There's only one. And that is that same faith that we have, Black people, ancestrally. It is in you. So if you are disconnected, you need to get connected. You need to meditate. You need to pray. Yes, I said need. You need to meditate and you need to pray, because I believe that suicide is I believe it's a spirit of the devil, evilness, satanic. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. Is there any evidence of that, Nick? What do we know from the Bible? Shout out to Nick over here. That's my right-hand man.
A lot of time I find this interesting, the topic of medicine in the scriptures. So the way that our ancestors explain certain things, so something like in this realm of suicide or depression or something of that nature would be called a demon, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and to make it make sense, so it doesn't sound all mythological, a demon is just a spirit, right?
Correct.
A spirit, right, is just talking about the way in which you're conducting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the scripture calls them familiar spirits, right? So, for example, if I'm depressed, right, or I'm having certain thoughts, and then I see other things that kind of trigger me to go continue down that lane,
Right.
right? Those would be called familiar spirits,
Okay.
right? So I'm looking at other things that's making me more depressed, keeping me down more and more. So I don't. When you guys hear demons and spirits, don't think of it like there's something floating
Oh,
around,
like this. No, it ain't that.
right? Jumping in and out your
It's not
body,
this.
right?
Right.
What it's talking about is
Thank you,
a
Dick.
demon is just someone who's deceitful and deceptive,
Yes.
right?
It's a lot of them walking around here.
Right. So when it's talking about somebody has a demon on them, it's talking about the way that you're conducting yourself, the way that you're treating other people, the
Yes.
way that you're receiving information, giving out information, and you can change that,
Yes.
right? So your
Yes.
spirit is really talking about the way you think. So if someone says this
Absolutely.
person has a demon on them, it's really talking about the way that they're processing information, the way that they're thinking about the world.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get those demons off. You can change the way you think.
You can.
You can change the way you feel, and 99% of the time, it's about what you're taking in.
Right.
So be cautious of what you're letting people tell you, what information you're taking in, whose
Right.
opinion you're giving validation to. Um,
Absolutely.
I would say this: the scriptures have helped me a lot with depression.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot a lot of black people may go through this. As kids, you see a lot of black jokes, you hear a lot of black jokes. I've noticed that those things stick with certain black people as we get older.
They can. Mm-hmm.
Um, but one of the things that really helped me in my lifetime was I read in the scripture says the Most High is the author of beauty. So basically, he said he decides what's beautiful and what's not beautiful. And he
Mm-hmm.
called black people beautiful in the
Mm-hmm.
scriptures, right?
Mm-hmm.
That really helped a lot
Absolutely.
with my mental state of mind and
Yes.
how I perceive my people. Because then I have to think, who am I to decide otherwise?
I love that.
So I would encourage anybody if you do feel like you're having some kind of feeling, for one, call the number that Doc gave you.
Mm-hmm.
That's always important. And for two, try to get some positive energy around you.
Yeah.
You know, and
And then, do you know offhand the scripture in the Bible that calls black people beautiful? I love y'all know I love me some Nick.
it's a couple of them.
I'm
King
always learning when I come up in here.
KJV.
And I hope that you guys are too. And remember that that suicide prevention line is 1-800-273-TALK or 1-800-273-8255. All right, same number, same thing. We put the talk in there because we want to make it easy for you to remember. Okay, easy to remember. So, but yes, you've given us knowledge. Giving us knowledge.
So there's a whole bunch of verses in here. You
Okay.
guys can look up the Wisdom of Solomon 13:3. Um, we can go to Psalms 90:17.
That's PSALMS, you all.
Yes.
20 and what is it?
Hold on, I just gave you two.
Okay.
No. Solomon 13:3.
Okay.
Psalms 90:17.
Okay. And can you read those for us?
And
Nick?
let's go. So just so you guys know, so anytime you're reading the scriptures, this is no knock on nobody else, but the people in the scripture are actually just talking to a certain group of people. So Psalms 90:17 says, "And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us." Right. So if you remember in Genesis, it says, "Let us make man in our image and our likeness." So this is what this is referring to. So if you are most people I find go through some kind of physical depression, which is I
Sure.
think is really jacked up, especially living in the Instagram world.
Yes.
So positive affirmations or reinforcements are always good.
Yes.
And I would say go to the source, the designer, and see what he calls beautiful and calls ugly before you allow someone else, on the
And the
outside to do
designer
so.
is who, Nick?
The Most High, of course, you know
Amen.
what I mean.
Amen. I love that.
King David said, "I'm black and comely." You probably never read that in the
I have
scriptures.
not read that.
Yeah, he said, "I'm black," which just means black and beautiful.
That's right. Give it up to King
What are
David.
what are some other? That was just my experience growing up, which was a lot of physical things that,
Uh-huh.
and mostly women. I don't think men really talked about depression really growing up.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's just like one of those things. It's like you're made to figure it out. It's kind of like get over it, find a way to get through it. We're not going to talk about it though, and that's part of the issue that we find even in therapy, especially when we have patients who deal with incest or molestation, um, rape. Especially within the families. Those are the things they don't talk about. But can you imagine if you had told your parent, "Hey, she touching me," it would have been ended, right? It would have been over.
Someone probably would have died though.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not. I mean,
But we're taught to deal with things. We're taught not to talk about certain things. That's where that taboo line comes in. It's like you live it, you know it, but it's not really cool to talk about.
Right.
And that's the problem that we're having. So that's why I love this platform and this show, because we can talk about anything. There is nothing that is taboo. And let me tell you, family secrets. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. When you get older and you see these family secrets and the damage that they can often cause, boy, it's something fierce, Nick. Because a lot of times you talk about therapy and changing behavior. You know, as therapists, a lot of times we hone in on cognitive behavior therapy, which is getting people to change the way they think about what they're thinking about, with the hopes and expectations that it's going to begin to change the behavior and the actions that they take.
Makes sense.
But even within yourself, you can begin to just stop certain things. Just stop. Don't look for a reason. Just stop.
The scripture
Talk
says, if
about
your
it.
right hand causes you to sin, cut it off.
If the right hand causes you to sin,
Let me get that context. It does not mean literally, because I know we're talking about a serious topic today, so let me preface
you
that.
better say it.
It does not mean literally cut your hand off, but it's given an extreme example for an extreme reason, right? So say if a certain group of people are causing you to be depressed,
Right.
stop going around those people.
Right.
Don't try to negotiate. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to ease. Just stop. Just cut it off.
Stop.
It's better to save your peace of mind than to try to save that energy right there.
Absolutely.
If I would say if Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
is giving you some kind of complex, cut it off. I only go on. Listen, y'all. I only go on Instagram. I told I made a deal with myself. If I go on Instagram, I'm going to post something on my page, because I'm not just going to be promoting other people's page on Instagram and liking
Right.
other people's pictures.
Right.
So I would say, start looking at your life, figure out what's actually making these triggers, and if you can, cut them things off, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
If it's a job, stop
Yeah.
going. Just cut it off.
Yeah. Because nothing is worth you killing yourself. Nothing is worth you taking a life that you didn't give yourself. God gave us life. So now you cheating him if you decide to kill yourself.
It-
And so we were always taught, you're going to hell. What does
So
the Bible say about that, Nick?
so look, so I'm glad you brought this up. So just give y'all a little information on this. Let me clarify this. So hell is not a place you go, okay? In the scriptures, it's not. You're
Okay.
not going to the bottom pits and the dude with a fork is gonna be poking you. It's
You
not.
mean he not going to be sitting there on the throne
No,
dressed in red
none
with
of
the
none of
pitchfork?
that's true. What's even scarier about this is though.
Mhm.
What's even scarier is
Okay.
hell in the Bible is talking about a condition that you're born into.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so a low state. You're born poor in poverty. You could be born with an affliction,
Okay.
right? Not to
Mhm.
say that people who have some kind of affliction. I'm not saying anything. This is in the Bible. Okay, I didn't
So
make
you're
this
going to have
up.
to give us those references, Nick.
It's in the scriptures. Okay, so so being in hell is a condition. It's a
Okay.
state of being.
Right.
Okay, so let's say if you're depressed in this lifetime, you say, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever, and you make a drastic decision. You don't know what's gonna happen to you when you return to this lifetime,
Mhm.
because we all just gonna keep coming back here. If anybody's seen Lion King, we heard the circle of life.
So we're going to be reincarnated?
It's called regeneration,
Regeneration?
which is even scarier because you don't
Okay.
get to escape your path, right?
You don't
So
get to escape?
your path.
Okay.
So a lion, when a lion passes away,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be reborn back into another lion. It doesn't get to be a tiger now.
Okay. So I
So
won't come back as a white gazelle like
you're
Tia
going
Marie said.
no, you're gonna be
Okay.
you're gonna be a black woman, like, so you're gonna deal with the same exact things that you're
Mhm.
dealing with now until you
Mhm.
figure out how to get out of it.
Okay.
That's what the circle of life is. So
Got it.
suicide
Okay.
is not an escape. It's almost a damnation. You're almost gonna make it worse. It's better to just say, you know, if I'm going through something, I'm probably supposed to figure it out and grow from this.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
what all these lessons are about.
Yeah. Life lessons.
It's all about,
Yeah.
let me figure out if any. That's how I perceive. If anything's happening to me, I look at it. What am I supposed to learn right now?
Right. Right.
If somebody's doing something to me, what am I supposed to learn from this
Right.
that's happening to me right now?
Right.
So
That's true.
I would encourage people that, and don't give people too much weight on what they think. Who cares, man?
Who cares
Don't
what
give
they
a
think? Boy, I was
Don't
telling
give a
somebody this the other day,
boy.
Nick. I said when I turned 40, something happened on September 23rd, the year I turned 40. I didn't give a F-U-C-K about what nobody thought about me. Your opinions matter zero.
Yeah,
Know that.
you made it that far.
And
You know what I mean?
I meant every part of it, because everybody always got something to say, right? There's some of you who don't know how to shake it off, brush it off your shoulder, put it over there where it belongs. That's their opinion of you. Who gives a damn? You, man, where would I be if I cared about what people thought about me? Where would I be?
Yeah,
Where would you be?
I don't read the comments. I don't. You know what it is?
The comments are funny to me. Hey,
I,
y'all. Hey,
I
people.
grew up. I grew up around comics. So
Oh yeah, you had.
I
a
got
tough
picked
skin.
on by my family members.
Mhm.
Like my dad
Mhm.
cracked jokes on me, right? Which is a
Yeah.
little tougher to deal with when your father is the one. You know, and my
Right.
uncle, like the people who you're supposed to go to say that, hey, this person was picking on me, they were the people
They
that
were
was
the
actually
people.
doing it. Um,
Love it.
but what it taught me was not to take myself so serious,
Correct.
right? And not to
Correct.
take life so serious
Right.
because no matter what happens today, and I want y'all to think, if anybody is thinking about something crazy, think about this though. This part trips you out. No matter what happens today, the sun coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
ESPN coming on.
Tomorrow.
They're gonna play in the NBA.
Tomorrow.
And the Super Bowl's happening.
Tomorrow. Next week.
So I don't
And
know.
they still gonna talk about your ass.
They gonna wear your stuff.
Who cares?
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who cares?
Yeah. Like don't let
Don't let the opinions of other people get
that's
into
crazy.
your head.
Yeah.
That's a trick of the enemy.
And
Especially when they are the enemy. Think about it. Take a good look at it. Who's the source?
Right.
What qualifies you to talk about me? What qualifies you to talk about me? What qualifies anybody to talk about you, to disgrace you? What is it? Oftentimes it's something about themselves. Some non-redeeming factor or quality that they can't get back. And so it's easier to inflict that harm and pain upon other people, right? When they should just do the work. You know, some of you guys are on social media like crazy. You're not doing the work. You're posting cute little sayings, but you're not doing the work.
Yeah.
Work is not Googling a couple words to get a cute little post to post it. Work is going inside internally, cutting off everything and everybody because you understand the importance of your life and the importance that God has placed on your life when he created you. So you're giving back to that by meditating, by praying, by understanding, by reading your Bible, by getting connected. That's doing the work. I'm a better person now. No, you're not. Do the work because it's going to help you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, which is going to transcend into your family, into your financial, into your every part of you. Because we don't live or exist inside of vacuums. We don't. We live in a world with a whole lot of stuff going on. And that is just the reality. All right. So now, when it comes to suicide, you know, your husband leave you, get another one. Okay? Your boyfriend, your girlfriend break up, get another one. Too many fish in the sea. Don't let that be the thing to take you out. Young people, when young people think about or talk about suicide, they're not crazy. Don't make them feel like they're crazy or insane or disconnected because they're not. All right? Suicides occur all year long. I'm looking at some of these myths, y'all. That's what I'm referring to.
And just so you guys know,
yes,
death do you part is not in the Bible. So if a relationship,
what about obeying?
What do you mean?
To love, honor, and obey.
That's not in there either.
It's not even in
No.
there. Go ahead, Nick.
So yeah,
I love this.
That's the dangerous part. Like I know a lot of times people get in relationships
Mind
and
control.
then somebody cheating is another thing people get depressed on, which is why I don't believe in it. But your spouse cheats on you and now you're getting a divorce and you think you're supposed to be together forever. Just so y'all know, the stuff that you say at church is not in the scriptures. So God is not taking it as serious as you taking it. So you don't even have to take it that serious. Like if somebody wants to leave, you got to let them leave.
Let them go.
Nowhere does it say, the only place people stay together forever is in fairy tales. In real life, people go through ups and downs. People need separation. People need time apart. That's just life. You don't own nobody.
No,
you can't control nobody. You should not want to control anybody.
No.
And you should not want to own anybody.
No.
You know?
The worst thing you can do is try to control somebody.
Yeah, when I read, like I said, when I read the scripture, I found that wasn't even in there. I had to let that energy go. So now I no longer have that pressure on me.
Good.
To have to feel like this person did me wrong.
Right.
No, she just doesn't want to be with me, and that's okay.
Yeah, he don't want you.
Like
that's
not. I don't have to be mad at you. I don't like.
We don't have to be enemies.
Right. There's no scripture that says I gotta stick with you forever. No, nigga.
None.
It says we need to be equally yoked, which means
No.
in agreement.
Yes.
And the moment we not, if you gotta go do you, hey man, do you.
Some people be doing them
Cut
when
your
they
right
in
hand off,
marriages.
man.
That's part of the problem.
So
Part of the
hopefully that
problem.
helps somebody out
They
there if you're
slick,
going
you know.
through, if you're feeling like somebody might have did you wrong or
Check yourself.
always.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Always check yourself first. That's always my rule.
Check yourself first. Get that mirror and put it in front of your face. I got ink all over my hand. Put it in front of your face. Put it in front of your face and check yourself. All right? Because guess what? Change starts from within. But guess what? You're not doing the work. You're not going to do the work in a month or two. That ain't how it works. That's why, man, Nick, I had an ex, and he'd be like, I changed. But I'm better now. Nigga, it ain't even been 3 weeks. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
What?
What it take 90 days? Something like that?
Yeah. It ain't even been 3 minutes. I changed. When?
And since
Lepers don't change their spots, people.
we talking about black people and
Always talk
talking
about
about,
black people because that's
I like to
us.
say Israelites. I don't like to use the word black as a color, but
What
I
you
wanna-
use? What you say?
Israelite, which is our actual
Okay,
last
Israelite.
name.
Okay, love that.
So I'm gonna give you guys something, and if this don't help your self confidence, yo, I don't know what to tell you.
Let's do it.
Okay, and remember, this is directed towards. And if you don't believe me, this is Moses, a black man, telling Mexicans or Hispanics. Let me say Hispanics and black people this, and Native Americans. Okay, for art thou a holy people. The word holy means separate. Unto the Lord thy God, God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. This is the kicker. Above all people on the face of the planet. So if you're a black or Hispanic or Native American young man or woman and you are depressed, I would encourage you to read this.
Where's that at?
Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And no matter what you think about yourself, no matter what somebody else tells you about yourself, the Most High wrote in record that we are above all the people on the planet. So I don't know how that
Can
don't.
you read? Okay. When you say we, I say black people. You say Israelite. We're talking about the same people.
I'm talking about a larger group of people. So Israelites are black, Hispanics, Native Americans.
Got it. Can you
Okay.
read that again?
So if any of those group of people are depressed at the moment, or you feeling like you don't look like this person or your body, whatever it is, just read Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people. The word holy means separate or set apart. Okay?
And who are we set apart from?
Everyone else on the planet.
Got it.
We are designed to be different. So if you don't fit in somewhere, that's by design, right? You
It's
just gotta.
meant to be that way.
It's meant to. You're not supposed to be in that space. Okay?
Get out of it.
And you're set apart for God. God has chosen you to be a special people unto himself. This is the kicker right here. Above all people on the face of the earth. So no matter how somebody want to look at it, hopefully that gets your confidence up, gives you a good start to the day, good start to the week. I never heard that in church. So I only heard that when I actually read it myself. They never told me this line in church. If I'd heard this in church as a kid, that would have boosted my confidence a lot more.
Absolutely. So we are the chosen people.
But yet, even better, God has chosen us to be above all. So no matter what that person that has $1 billion is doing, no matter what, those are just things.
And let me just say, this applies to black, Hispanic, and Native American.
According to the scriptures.
According
I ain't
to
write
the
this.
scriptures.
I ain't
Nick
right.
didn't write the scriptures.
So you got beef with it?
It's
You
in
got to talk to Moses.
Deuteronomy, Genesis, Exodus,
yeah.
Leviticus. Deuteronomy is the 4th book in the Old Testament. Go to chapter 7 and verse 6 before y'all get to calling and texting, all right?
Yeah, and y'all should read that. I try to read this anytime I feel some kind of way. I'll pull this out.
When are you gonna get? I want you to get Saturdays because I need your Saturdays teaching.
Okay,
in my life.
well that's all you gotta say, Doc.
I need that in my life. Like I want to sit
right.
right there and have my Bible and like.
Oh,
go
then we
through
on it now. See, you done messed up now. See,
I
now,
need that.
Now we finna get the people the word.
Hey, I need it. Now understand, I grew up as a Christian in a Christian household. Church did everything that was done in the church. BTU, there 6 days a week, 12 hours a Sunday. We did all that. Okay?
He who thinks said Jews in Israel feel that particular scriptures are for them. To answer, I'm gonna make it simple. Actually, if you read any book in the world, it tells you who they're writing to. That's how you write a book. That's normal.
Right.
Any letter in the world,
Right.
you have to have who you're sending the letter to.
Sure.
So most pastors skip this part, but if you look in the book at the beginning of each chapter,
Mm-hmm.
they tell you who they're writing to.
It sure does.
So we don't
It
even have to have
does.
this conversation. We don't have to assume who they're writing to, who is
Okay.
it for. Like if I wrote a letter that said to Dr. T,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter if I posted it online. It doesn't matter if somebody read it online and said this is how I feel. It doesn't
Right.
matter. I wrote the letter to you.
Right. Right.
So anything pertaining in that letter only pertains to Dr. T.
Right.
Even if I can read the letter and get inspiration from it,
Right.
which is fine.
Right.
That don't mean it's for me.
Right.
So
That's
he who
that's-
thinks,
that's
if you
dope.
read any of the books in the Bible, any of them, read the beginning first lines. They tell you who Moses is only talking to the Israelites. Nobody else is around. So I feel what you're saying, but that's just not a false. That's a
Israelites,
false
the
narrative.
chosen people. Any other comments in there?
Let's see.
Well,
Let's see.
then we're gonna
Mood
take a break
swings.
after, but I want to hear the comments.
Mood swings and spirits is caused by change in conditions. Says he agree with me. That is true, man.
Mm-hmm.
The good book calls them familiar spirits. Yeah, and this is the truth of this. I didn't know this really, Doc, until I had to pay attention to what music was doing to me. So I took a class in college.
Ooh,
I took a
yes.
music class, and but it was like the science of music and sound, right?
Sure.
And they showed me the study of music on water and all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I know the body is like, what, 80, 90% water, something crazy like that. And I'm driving, and I noticed my attitude was different, and I was just like, I'm not an aggressive person. What the hell's going on?
What were you listening to?
That's what I had to check, and I said, damn, you know what? So I try to make it a point to only to be conscious of the energy, even the sounds.
Yes.
If people don't know, 808, which is a drum sound,
Mm-hmm.
is the lowest form of vibration in music,
Okay.
which is not a good thing.
Okay.
So that's going to bring your spirit down.
Down.
So you're
Yeah.
talking about all this depression.
Yeah.
Listen to the music,
Absolutely.
right? That sound vibration. I always tell women, when you're dealing with a man, let him put his music on.
Yeah.
And you sit back and pay attention to
Yeah.
what is being said,
Yeah.
because that's what he believes.
Yeah.
Really pay attention. 'Cause
Yeah.
those vibrations are going to penetrate.
Yep.
They're going to affect, we are mostly water. They're going to affect how you feel, and that's going to affect your mental state.
Yeah.
And most of the time, depression is caused by, I know, by food, a lot of times, what you put in your body, a lot of times by what you're hearing.
Depression will cause you to be fatter than you ever thought you would be, than
And
what you need to be.
And I used to know there's a lot of,
People eat food for comfort.
did you have the emo people in school?
I was just about to say, when you were talking about that music, I remember about this time last year, I had a client who was an emo,
Uh-huh.
and she only wore black lipstick,
Right.
black nail polish, and she listened to depressing music. And the
Right.
first thing I told her to do, I want you to stop listening to that music. I need you
Wow.
to find some other type of music.
Wow.
And she didn't do it for a couple weeks, but when she did it, we saw her wearing different colors.
Wow.
We saw an uplift
That's
in her
crazy.
mood and attitude, and she was still depressed, but she wasn't in such a deep dark place with the depression. So there was some light that was beginning to transcend. But Nick, you are so very right. Pay
That's crazy.
attention to who you're around, what you're listening to, the foods you eat. If you are depressed, get you some fruit and vegetables. That's a good time. If you need to eat a lot, eat that. All right. Stay
Eat a
away
salad,
from the greasy
man.
tacos and tamales and all that other stuff.
That's
if
what-
somebody was feeding me like that, I would think you want me fat.
Doc, that's why they open late nights.
That's why they open late
Yeah,
nights.
there's a whole science behind this, and how they're trying to keep
Cooking with lard.
They're trying to keep Americans depressed,
Yes.
to keep a low vibration,
Yes.
to keep you going to work.
They want to control.
Right.
It's just in the man, the white man. It's in them to control. They want to control.
Let's say Edomite. We don't want to say white dude. We'll say Edomite.
Edomites,
Yeah, say
which mean
Edomite.
white people. They want to
Means red.
control. That's why I don't let people take control.
Right.
And if you're being controlled, you better break those chains. It's called psychological chains of slavery, because you're living like a slave. That's not your master.
And you know what? One thing that helped me with depression growing up
Mm-hmm.
was realizing that all these things were being done to me.
Yes.
That I wasn't just tripping.
No.
I wasn't.
It's true.
I just did, like, I had a hard time paying attention in class and all the stuff. You know, they tried to tell me I had dyslexia, everything. I was like, I didn't start 10 businesses. You got to be crazy.
Right.
So I didn't believe that, right? But when
Good.
I understood, when I got older, I understood that the reason I didn't, and parents keep this in mind, look at what they're teaching your kids about the people who enslaved them. and the people who enslaved them are teaching them spiritually. Now, physically, they don't know anything about that, but spiritually, right? And we wonder why Black and Hispanic kids have such a hard time in these schools
Yeah.
as a whole, not as individuals.
Yeah.
My little sister flew through school.
Mhm.
All the rest of us hated it,
Mhm.
everything about it,
Mhm.
And I think that's more general than not. And
Mhm.
I think a lot of times it's spiritual. So
But
I would
what did the
say
teachers look like? Did the teachers
exactly
look
no.
like
I had
you?
one Black teacher.
There you go.
So and so.
That's a problem.
But once I realized that these things were being done to me, and it wasn't
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
Like I
No, it
was,
wasn't
and
you.
everyone's telling me I was the issue, right?
No, it was
That
them.
I needed to sit down and pay
Nope.
attention, and I needed to do and I needed to not, and
Nope.
I need to color in the lines, and
No.
that caused a lot of depression for
No.
me as a kid.
Yeah.
And then when I realized that I don't have to do this, it's
No.
not me, it's the
No.
system that's out
It's
of
the
whack.
system. It's them.
That lightened up the
Because
depression for me a
just like
lot.
we have ancestral things in us, they have ancestral things in them. And
Right.
the ancestral things in them are to continue to encapsulate, to enslave us. No, we're not going for it. We're just not doing it. But
Right.
guess what? When they're teaching your kids and taught you as a child and taught me as a child, that's what they did.
Facts.
That's a
Take a
fact.
break.
We're going to take a quick break, y'all. I will be back. Tune in, share, let your people know because it's going to get a little heated. We're going to be on just for a few more minutes. All right.
And listen, y'all, I'm gonna put the number on the screen. So if anybody needs to call this number,
Please do.
you can.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Magic Hour. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome back to My Health Matters with me, Dr. T. I do have a special young man in the building. He made it, y'all. He kept his word, and he showed up. So you guys, I'm sure you know him. This is Mr. Suave Triple X.
I ain't been called young man in a long time.
You're a young man.
Appreciate it.
Always full of life and energy and very supportive, you guys. So
Yeah.
give some information about yourself.
Oh man. I'm Suave Triple X, retired porn star. Now I'm going mainstream. I have distribution for mainstream, any type of mainstream series, movies, documentaries. It's life after porn for me. I wrote a book. I'm writing a book into a movie. I got Columbus Short behind it. He's gonna rewrite it. He wants to play me in it.
Tell us the name of the book.
How I became the gangster of porn.
That's right.
dope.
So you
I
can just
saw it on
Google
this page.
Suave XXX, all one name, one word, and just put book after that.
Nice.
And then everything will pop up. It's on all the platforms to get the book.
I love it.
You can catch them used on there. I see that. I was like, what the hell?
You mind if I ask some questions, Doc?
Yes, please.
So, we're talking about suicide today.
Okay.
So I think most men will kind of look at your world from the outside looking in and would think you just have carefree living in life. Have you been through any depression or situations like that in your business, like in your career?
I mean, myself, I have, because I'm a victim of bipolarism and manic depression. My brother
shit.
has it. So it's in my DNA.
Oh,
But
wow.
I rebuke it. Like, I learned,
Amen.
I found out what it was, and then I'm like, I'm too strong of a man to fall for that. I succumb to that. I feel like I used to be like, that's, suckers and weak people do that shit. Then I realized, like, that's really a condition, and it really needs to be treated, needs to be spoken on, needs to be, like, aired out. And, yeah, I've suffered from it, but, I don't like to be alone. So I have separation anxiety because, Pop's like, yo, I'll come pick you up. I'm going to go fishing and all that. And I was a kid sitting on the porch with the skateboard and the backpack till, like, the sun went down. And my mom like, told you his ass ain't coming. You know what I mean? So when people come to my house and shit, I'm like, oh, man, kick it. Man, make it so comfortable, kick back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, people go through stuff. And then in our industry, whoa. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to sit here and say people in the industry are messed up or damaged or touched and all that. A lot of us are. But, it's a real live condition that can happen to anybody.
Absolutely.
And there's been a lot of suicides in the industry.
Wow.
A lot of crazy stuff. Because, and it's crazy because if you understand my industry to where you're laying down with certain people all the time that you may grow attraction to or like or bonding with, and you do be like, man, I like this chick, she's hot. And then you walk on set and then boom, you walk into it and then she's on her knees with another guy, and you like, you know what I mean? So some guys just don't know how to separate. You know what I mean? You got to be able to like hit it and quit it for real, physically and mentally. But of course we're humans. The law of attraction is you like what you like. So some people just they get attached and they're like, yo, let me just do it. Let me just work. And let me retire you. And but I mean, a hoe is a hoe. A chick that's a freak wants to be, she's in the industry for a reason.
Mhm.
Not because she was touched, because she likes sex.
Mhm.
And that's my thing. Like, I like sex. I like women. I like making money.
Mhm.
So, me growing up in the hood, selling drugs and stealing cars, I've had money my whole life. So that was fast money. And when I got out of prison in '97, I was introduced to the Valley. And in Chatsworth is where I grew up at. Out here, not grew up, but where I came out of prison, ended up staying, and I was like introduced to the porn industry. And I wanted to get off parole, man. I'm tired. I went to
Mhm.
prison my first time. I was like, man, I'm buff, I'm swole, and I got approached to do male modeling. So I was one
Mhm.
of the first webcam guys ever. Like,
Oh wow.
you know what I mean? So it's like, especially being black. So my name rang bells in that industry. And then a guy ran up to me like, "Hey, man, are you Suave?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, you ever thought about doing porn?" I'm like, "Porn?" I'm like, "Nah, nah, never thought about it." So I thought about it and started doing it, and the industry chose me. So,
Right.
and this is something that I could make the same amount of money being a D boy. So I could put the sack away. I could do something I really like. The lifestyle was cool. It's conducive to what I was doing anyway. Late night, sex, drugs, rock and roll. So I was cool. So
I hear, what's crazy.
Dang, I need you on a full show.
No,
oh,
no, no.
yeah,
This is
no,
no. This is a good
No.
teaser.
there's layers to me.
This is a good
Man, I'm
teaser
over
though.
here
No,
like,
no,
damn.
this is a good teaser. And it's crazy. I've heard that kind of background from a lot of a friend of mine who's been in the industry.
Uh-huh.
That they were really just. It wasn't so much of I want to be a porn star. It was I don't want to go back to doing this,
Right, right.
which is I find very very interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
She was probably a streetwalker or something, forced to do that. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I'm talking about for the men though, because
Oh, for
I
the
think
men too, yeah.
for the men on the outside, it's like, oh, I would love to be a porn star,
Yeah.
right? But every time I've ever talked to the actual porn star, the men,
It's work.
it's always I was trying not to go back to this lifestyle, so I just did this to not do this.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, I want to be a porn star,
Yeah,
so
no, yeah. You
which I
don't-
find
yeah.
that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
You said that when you were a kid, and you first see like, oh wow, when you get introduced to sex, but it's not something you wake up and be like, ask a kid what he want to be as a kid.
Right.
He says I want to be an adult film star. It's not. It's not. It is work, man. Like it's times I've went to work and put my dick in the girl, pulled out, there was blood on it. Like, oh my god, oh my period started. And it's like, oh my God, we done?
Mentally, that would jack me up. I would imagine.
I'd
good
retired,
Lord.
nigga.
Girl, you don't know how to count 28 days?
So, but hold on.
I'd cry. Nigga.
What they do is
Say it.
they don't get
Cried.
another girl. They take makeup sponges and put them up in there, and they say, all right, go ahead.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So,
So
now with that
that's a
mental and
lot.
that
That's a
visual,
lot.
Yeah, dog, we're gonna have to have him on the full
Yeah,
show because I'm like, I wonder what the hell the mental
it
aspect
is
is.
part one
Man.
of Suave's.
Like,
Yeah, and you know
damn.
what's funny? We're actually doing this show in 2 parts.
Okay.
This
there
is
we go.
good.
All right, I can do the whole second.
Damn,
segment,
Swab, you never
bro.
said this on our show. This is some good shit, man.
No, he's
I mean,
saving
it's
it for
a-
my
it's a
show.
line
That's
of
why I'm
question.
number
It's-
one.
That's
You,
some
you
good
the
shit.
journalist now. You
I
asking
didn't
the
know
question.
this,
You asking the
bro.
right ones. Y'all
I
asking
didn't
the right
know
questions.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
I
layers to my
love
life,
it.
man. It's a lot. And
Dang,
like
I
said,
wish I didn't have to leave. Ooh.
Damn.
But yeah, we lost a guy right here at this rock, whatever that rock is right here, on the way to 118 on Topanga.
Mm-hmm.
He had
He committed suicide?
he committed suicide.
You mean up there by Chatsworth?
Yeah, the one right here. That
Oh,
big old
shit.
rock that people
I
He
know
was a
climb.
porn
exactly what you're
star?
talking
He
about.
was, yeah. He's not no he's-
You stupid.
No, he killed his roommate with a sword and went crazy.
With a sword.
He
Because-
killed his roommate
With a sword.
and then killed himself.
And then ran from the police, went on a crazy rant, chased him all the way up on the top of that rock. And they were
Wow.
coming up to get him. Before they shot him, he jumped. You want to hear the crazy part about it?
What?
He was black. Want to hear the crazy part about it?
What?
He played. If you ever see the sex skits with look like Sarah Palin and Obama having sex, he's the one that look like Obama.
Oh shit!
name
I'm
was
Really?
Steve
trying to
Driver.
look
Yeah.
this
What's
shit
his
up.
name?
Steve Driver.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
horrible.
And then another guy, big old buff, light skinned brother, cool, gentle giant. His name was Sledgehammer. He had he was schizophrenic.
Mm.
He was having
Oh,
an
wow.
episode at
Yeah.
his girl's house, and his girl calmed him down, all that stuff. And the police come because this guy's so big and everybody's scared. But he was cool, and an ambulance came, and he was like walking to the ambulance, and he was like gonna get in, and just everything's gonna be cool. They got him, and then the police said something to trigger him. He like the Hulk, like turned around, and they
Yeah.
tasered him to death.
Oh, yeah.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? But it was because he was, he wasn't all the way there.
Man, and you know what? It's really sad because we were saying before, there are a lot of people who are in situations who aren't fortunate enough to know that certain mental health diseases run in
Oh
families.
yeah,
You're fortunate enough to know.
yeah.
So you have a chance to recognize, see it, pay attention, and do something about
I
it.
know what not to do.
There's a lot of people who don't know.
Yeah,
So when we look at the homeless people down there on Skid Row, those are
Yeah,
some of
those
the
are people that are
people.
sick. Yeah,
Right.
and that's all it is. It's not drugs and all that
No.
stuff. You know, it's
No.
the drugs that society gives them to
Correct.
pacify, put a
What the
Band-Aid on.
doctor gives, the
Yeah.
pharmaceuticals from the. That's why
But to go back to what you just said, like, I know what not to do. If you read my book, in the
I'm
first
gonna
couple,
read your book.
in the first couple chapters, when I was a kid, I'm the oldest of 5 kids.
Okay. Okay.
So multiple times, me and my little brother, I would hug him, you know, as our mother was being carted off out of, by the ambulance because she tried to kill herself, taking pills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm like, man, what is this about? You know,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna go. I don't want to ever go through that.
No. Do you have children?
I have 2. I have a son and a daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and 4 grandkids.
Really?
Yes.
I can't wait till I have grandkids, but I do look forward to when that time comes.
Yeah, it's part 2. It's your chance to, you know, for me, it was a chance to be a better parent from when I was 17, you know, 18, having my first daughter
Sure.
that I delivered at home on accident. But that's another
That was a
segment.
great accident.
I know. It's in the book, though. But
It's in the
yeah,
book. I'm
yeah.
gonna read your book. I'm gonna get your book. I want you to bring me a book. I'll buy it from you, but I need a signed copy.
Yeah, I
Can
need
you
to
do
get-
that for me?
I got my oldest son, yeah.
Okay.
My son's 18. He just went to the Marines last week. Well, 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks.
My son just moved to Paris on the 1st of January. He'll be 22 next
It's like,
month.
you don't miss them when they gone up the street, but when they going to Paris or he out in the military, I'm like, oh, man.
You know, I miss him, but I'm grateful for FaceTime because we do a lot of FaceTiming, and you know he has that international plan and all that. But Suave, I need man. Okay, so next Sunday, you guys, you coming back?
I will.
Okay, we
Well,
got his
hold up.
word. Uh
Super Bowl
oh.
Sunday, though. That's Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, that's Super Bowl Sunday. Nick.
Let me-
You know, I don't keep track either. I didn't know
So,
that.
what time
So we
does
can-
Super Bowl start?
No, we could. Let's schedule for the following Sunday because I want this is be a good conversation.
I mean,
So
I
we don't
could-
have to do a show next Sunday because Super Sundays probably ain't nobody gonna be home.
We may
Okay.
be able to squeeze it in if it's way if the game don't start till later. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
But I
Or
think-
we could do it a different
the Super
day.
Bowl-
'Cause I
party.
think, no, I think we should have you on here and have a full conversation.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
party I'm going to is right here in Van Nuys Airport anyway.
Oh, I mean, we could do it early morning. I'm gang. You
What?
be
This
asleep.
is- he's a porn star. You know, he's not getting up early.
This is early morning. For
I
me.
work with them all the time. Doc. I think this is- this
Okay,
is early.
Nick.
Yeah, this is early.
You know, I don't know nothing about the industry.
Yeah, this is early. You know what I'm saying? No
I can
pressure.
learn you. I can learn you.
Yeah,
Huh?
no pressure.
I can learn you.
No.
Yeah, don't speak too soon.
Ooh, child. So I thank you guys for watching. Unfortunately, you guys, I know we like to go 2.5 hours, but I was invited to a political event. Get to rub some elbows and make some connections and listen to some politicians to hear what they got to say. Y'all know I'm going to let you know, right? Because it's very important that we take a stand in who we have representing us, period.
What city?
I'm going to Brentwood. It's Alex Padilla.
Oh, Alex.
Yeah.
He's going back. He's running again.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Get out there, y'all.
So just because I'm going does not mean that reflects my views. However, it is very important for us to educate ourselves on different things, okay?
Facts.
Shout
And
out
then,
to Mayor Butts, my almost father-in-law.
uh-oh. Well, honey, his contender, Miss
Patricia.
Patricia Shea Dixon, we would love to have Mayor Butts come. And can you get Mayor Butts to come? You think you can get him to come?
Can I get him to come? If you want to go to his office at City Hall, it might be more easy.
Oh yeah.
Can we work that out, Nick?
Yeah,
We can work that.
Yeah, we can get down.
Please.
He does not like me at all
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
that's not,
because of my line of work.
yeah, we not gonna, yeah, I'm gonna say suave what you done.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to hook that up for us, brother. We
I
appreciate that
definitely
because
will.
we like to hear all sides.
Yeah.
It's very important. Sometimes we just get, we got to have an open mind.
He's very informational, very smart brother, man. He's very, he did good in what he's doing. Like I don't see him losing, just because off of favoritism and just all that he's done.
Yeah.
Like, why not let him stay? He's not like
Yeah.
not doing anything bad.
it's gonna
in
be a
his
fight.
job. Well, in his job, he's not doing nothing bad, but
Right.
I guess in his personal life, he had a couple,
But who hasn't had stuff in their
Exactly.
personal life? You know what I'm saying? None of us are perfect. God didn't even make us to be perfect, because if he wanted us perfect, he would have gave us a perfect mold to be. So that's, that's crazy.
Who wants to be the only perfect person?
Yeah. So at this time in the show, what we do is we stand up, we do some deep breathing, and then we give a positive affirmation about what we're going to do or things that we're going to commit to ourselves to do a little bit better. So if you don't
I
mind.
listen to my Eric Thomas on the way here, my motivation.
Oh,
E.T.
cool. And you get a little bit more here with Dr. T.
Positive affirmation of his
Oh,
response.
yeah. Oh, man.
Every day, man.
See?
Yeah, I'm a good
Y'all
guy.
used to him with the freaking dickiness of it. There's a whole man here.
Yeah, who knew,
You
man?
feel me? Who knew? Get out of here. So this is what we're doing. We're going to engage in deep breathing. We're going to inhale deeply through our nostrils. We're going to hold the air. I'm going to move with my hands where the air is in my body. Going to keep it here. Hold it for a moment. We're going to squeeze, pull it up, and blow it out. Okay? Ready? Inhale through the nose. If you do it more deeply, you're going to feel more of your body relax when you release. Inhale. Allow your body to feel. Let the air fill up in your lungs. Hold it. Pull it up through the diaphragm. Exhale. Okay. And one more time. Inhale. Pull it up. Woo! I don't know about y'all, but I feel great. I feel like I got another 3 hours in my day. I could walk in these heels even though they don't match my shirt. I got to change my shirt or either my shoes.
My affirmation is no days off. Yeah, never be content.
Love it. Love
Never
it.
be full. Always stay hungry. Get out there for the eat.
Yes.
That's what I heard on my head. Stay hungry, never get full. Get complacent, and give up, and lay down.
My affirmation, I'm going to change it a little bit today. My affirmation is I'm going to continue to allow myself to be comfortable with getting even more uncomfortable. Watch out now, because I'm already a beast.
No days off.
No days off.
I got one. You are in
Control of your self-esteem.
Oh, that's deep.
So I would
That's
just
deep.
encourage everybody to remember it's called self-esteem.
So remember, anybody out there struggling, I want you guys to talk to people. Talk, or how's your day? Smile. It doesn't cost you a damn dime to smile at somebody. Smile.
I'll say hello.
Say hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
King. Hello,
Oh,
Queen.
hey. Hey, king. Hey, queen. That's it. Shouldn't be calling nobody nothing else other than that. Sis, bruh, that's cool. You can rock with that. But be the change you want to see. If anybody is struggling with suicide, suicidal thoughts, tendency, homicidal, because sometimes you can feel like that too, I want you to reach out. It is about preserving your life, your freedoms, and unbreaking these chains, okay? Don't be in love with your
change
captor.
People, places, or
Break
things.
And, right, there's a book, Breaking the Psychological Chains of Slavery by Dr. Naeem Akbar, that is amazing. And remember, the suicide helpline, lifeline, prevention line is 1-800-273-TALK or 1-800-273-8255. God bless.